What are some of the notable cases of pushback or legal challenges against these rulemakings?
It's a great question, and here is my 7-hour PowerPoint I have provided on the subject. I think a couple of things I find really interesting here. And first of all, let's take half a step back and just say it is fascinating to me that it has been the courts that, via the medium of the courts, that we are seeing pushback, because we're not seeing it in any other way. So it's fascinating to me that we're even in a position where any degree of remediation is coming out of the Supreme Court. Let's start there. Two interesting Supreme Court cases I think it's worth bringing to your attention. The first would be the Supreme Court on its docket for its next session has two cases that will have implications for the SEC, at least. The first is somewhat narrower. The SEC, like a number of other agencies, has essentially an internal court system that allows it to enforce or try some of the cases that come under its jurisdiction. And that is, legally speaking, extraordinarily complicated. If nothing else, at the top level, it allows the SEC to act as judge, jury, and executioner of its own rules, which is not typically a great thing. And so the SEC is coming at the Supreme Court is about to hear a case that is going to look at the very constitutionality of the SEC's internal courts and the other agencies that have a similar setup. And this is fascinating to me because, on the one hand, if the Supreme Court does strike down this mechanism, which is not outside of the realms of possibility, we are going to have to re-examine every case that these courts have seen, which would be a disaster. But it would also be the correct response, and thankfully someone else's problem.